ladies, and welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be talking about how to not care what people think about you. So why do we all care what people think about us so much? Well, it's actually a real fear, and it goes back to the times when we lived in tribes. If we were in a tribe and we were not liked, we would be cast out of the tribe, and we would therefore have to fend for ourselves, and we might likely get killed by a predator or starve to death because we can't hunt for our own food. So it is a real survival need that we have ingrained in us. So it's a real fear. But once we know that, we can kind of set ourselves free from that, because obviously we don't live in tribes anymore. It's 2025, and if people don't like us, it's fine. We can still survive, we can still live. So a lot of people really still care about what people think about them, and a lot of the times it is because of things that have happened in our past. So maybe we didn't receive enough love as a child, or certain things happened where we felt like we need to get people to like us. So I myself am a reformed people pleaser, but let me tell you, if you are trying to get everybody to like you all the time, it will end in misery. Because you cannot be a true, authentic version of yourself if you're always worrying about what people think about you. You're always going to be trying to mould yourself and change yourself in order to please other people, and you'll live with regret, and you won't be able to be your true self. So you'll resent yourself as well for not living your truest, authentic life. So how do we get out of it? Okay, so number one is to change your identity to I value authenticity above pleasing other people. So my number one value in life is to be authentic and to be the truest version of myself. So once you switch to this version, you can then cope if people don't like you, because your only job is to be your true self. Your job is not to please other people. Some people are naturally not going to like you, but that's okay. Just be the truest version of yourself, and you'll attract the right people to be in relationships, and they'll like you for the right reasons. There's nothing worse than being in a relationship, a romantic relationship or a friendship, where you have to act a certain way in order to get love from that person, because it can't last. You can't build a relationship basically on a lie. So you have to be your truest, authentic self in order to be happy. Number two is to look at any limiting beliefs. So if you have a belief that people don't like you, you are likely going to create more of that, because what you focus on will continue to happen. So just have a look at what you're believing about yourself. And if you have a belief like this, then now is the time to drop that belief and shift into a different identity and believe that people do like you. Number three is to love yourself. So have a look at how you treat yourself. What are you saying to yourself on a daily basis? Are you compassionate on yourself? Do you love yourself? Do you often have feelings of love and calm and wholeness towards yourself? If you don't, then a really good practice is meditation, and to just sit in those feelings of love and peace and wholeness, and just feel those feelings. If you love yourself and if you have a healthy relationship with yourself, then other people's opinions of you won't matter. Number three is to know that 10% of the people will not like you. That's a statistic, that 10% of people will not like you. But that's okay. It's the same with everybody. So even the most popular people in the world, like Beyonce, for example, or Adele, there's people that don't like Beyonce or Adele, but they're not bothered because they have the right people in their life. They are successful, they are happy, and they love themselves. So just know that there are some people that are just not going to like you, and that's a fact. Number four is to look at rejection as being a good thing. So I've had experiences in my past where I've changed myself to be in a relationship with somebody, and then further down the line I've found out that that person is actually not a good person to be in a relationship with, and by acting that way I invited them into my life. But if I'd just been my authentic self, I would have repelled that person, and I would have been able to save myself a lot of suffering if I'd have just been my authentic self. So being authentic, you're going to attract the right people and repel the wrong people. So if somebody rejects you, if somebody doesn't like you and doesn't want to be a friend or doesn't want to be in a relationship, then take that as a green flag and know that you're being protected and that that person is not meant to be in your life. And number 5 is to trust God, or trust the divine, the creator, whatever you want to call it. Trust that your reputation is what it should be, is how it's meant to be. You just be your true authentic self. You just do good and treat people well and treat yourself well, and let other people do what they want to do. If you're in a situation where somebody really doesn't like you and they talk bad about you to somebody else, just let them do it. Let them do it and trust that your reputation or your character is good, and it doesn't matter what they say or do, and they'll just be fighting with themselves and they'll just look foolish eventually. You don't need to defend yourself. Just let them do it, and eventually they'll get bored and they'll move on to someone else. So trust God with all of this. Your character is what matters. As long as your character is good, you're being your true self, you're not hurting anybody else, you're not intending to be malicious or nasty to anybody, but you're just living your true life, then that is good. That is where you're meant to be. So know yourself, know your own set of values and opinions, live by that, and you'll be streets ahead of everybody else. Okay, that brings us to the end of the video. I hope this really helped, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.